Hi guys, welcome to my Barbarian T6 farming Rift build, and this is a classic full Raekor build with very high movement speed. So I think this is the best one of all the builds. There's also a good whirlwind build that I'll be covering in a separate video in a moment. But this is a old-fashioned Raekor build with charge, Warcry for movement speed, and sprint. I'm going to start by saying that this is a gear dependent build. It is not a starter build, so you're going to want to have all these pieces that you're seeing here pretty much to be able to farm the most efficiently with this particular build. And there are variations, but I won't be covering those in here just for the sake of time. So I'll start with the gear, and then we'll jump into the skills, and then I'll do some gameplay. So your weapon, you want an ancient weapon with high damage. And I roll cooldown reduction on here just in case you miss a charge or something like that. It's good for your charge to be off cooldown. So I roll cooldown reduction to the weapon and have a nice amount of damage on there. Stone of Jordan with physical damage. Raekor gloves with crit chance, crit damage cooldown. Pretty standard. Vile wards with cooldown reduction and furious charge. That will give you the highest damage possible. The helm. Crit chance, vitality, strength. There isn't anything really you could do there for other rolls, I don't think. Chest piece, I do furious charge damage on there, and this is the Raekor chest piece. Chiolenic's chain. This is a nice belt because it gives you basically gives you 37, or I think it's 30 to 40. Yeah, 30 to 40 movement speed for 10 seconds after you use Warcry, and that's why Warcry is part of this build. And I was lucky enough to get an ancient one, so it gives you some extra strength, which is nice. Pants, not much you can do here, I don't believe. Although armor is, all resist is probably better if you can get it on there. But yeah, whatever. This is T6, you don't really need toughness, and that's why I'm gemming for strength, full strength. And sorry, I forgot to mention this. Diamond in the helm for cooldown reduction. Raekor boots, I rolled movement speed in there. Doesn't really matter what you get because of Paragon, but there's only a few strength points. For your necklace, crit chance, you basically want the highest possible DPS plus a socket. So crit chance, crit damage, strength, or crit chance, crit damage, physical. Those are both good. You don't really need immunity here. You go with something like Hana Vaxo for a little bit, but I mean it doesn't matter because stuff's going to be dying real fast. But there are a bunch of choices. For bracers, I go for strong arms with physical. That gives you an extra damage boost. And my other ring is Convention of Elements. You could pretty much choose whatever you want in this particular slot. I do like this ring though because it gives you essentially triple damage for 4 seconds in one element. So either my Ancients, which are fire, or my Charge, which is physical, or my other physical skills, the dots and stuff, will be doing massively more damage half the time. And then when it procs the other elements, it just doesn't do anything. But I still think it's worth it because this really helps out on the Rift Guardian. You almost one-shot him. And for gems, there's a little bit of choice here. My #1 recommendation for speed farming is Boon of the Hoarder, just for the movement bonus. It's amazing to get 30% full-time increased movement speed on top of your Warcry, on top of your Wrath of the Berserker, and on top of your sprint. It's just insane. Pain Enhancer is nice, and this is my other Barbarian, so my gems are low rank. But Pain Enhancer is nice for the dot, in case there's mob behind you or something that you didn't finish off with your charge, or if you missed it. Your other skill, Dust, or the what's it called? Run Like the Wind. Tornadoes from your sprint. These tornadoes here, they proc that, so that's a nice amount of extra damage. Another one here is a Toxin Gem, which is another dot. I like it again because it finishes off mobs that are far away. If you don't like this, you could go for Bane of the Trapped, or even the Lightning Gem. It's really up to you. The only one that's sort of mandatory here, in my opinion, is Boon of the Hoarder, just because it gives you the movement speed. And as I said, this is a speed farming build, so this is maximum speed and maximum DPS. You still don't really have any survivability issues, so I'm not using Unity here in solo. So this is good both for group play and for solo play. All right, let's look at the build. Call the Ancients Council Rises is good because you get the fire rune for twice the damage of the other runes. Warcry Impunity, it doesn't really matter which rune you get here. As I said, toughness isn't an issue. This is mainly for the run speed. Battle Rage Bloodshed, it's good for AoE. You can go with the other runes too. They're very close for T6. Fierce Charge, just make sure you pick a physical rune. Sprint, Run Like the Wind, as I said, that will deploy tornadoes in your wake. And that procs your dots, so that's a nice little damage boost to finish off trash mobs. You can also go for Marathon, which is a constant 40% speed boost. So that's really up to you, but I do prefer the tornadoes just in case, there's some straggling mobs behind you. Then Wrath of the Berserker Insanity for a nice damage boost and also movement speed. Berserker Rage, damage bonus, Rampage damage bonus, Ruthless damage bonus, and Boon of Bokathos is to lower the cooldowns of Ancients and Wrath of the Berserker. Alright, so that is the build, and now let's jump into a Rift and see how quickly we can clear it. I'm just going to end it at the boss, I'm not going to do full clear here. Generally speaking, it's probably the most efficient just to open chests and kill elites. But a nice thing about this build is that while moving around, you also kill trash mobs. So that gives you potential for more loot. And that's one thing I really love about this build. Especially now that we're using Whirlwind for the Greater Rift builds primarily. It's nice to do a little Furious Charge from time to time too. So you can see there's gold everywhere, so that's basically movement speed all over the ground. Single target still isn't amazing, but you're not going to face anything harder than that, so this is my build of choice. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that. Next up I'm going to talk about a Whirlwind based build, which is also pretty quick. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions or suggestions, please leave them in the comments. Bye.